And a very good evening to you and welcome to the news. I am Iberi. We're going to name the headlines tonight. State government reassures on welfare and security of corps members. Indian medical team donates medical equipment worth over 7 million naira to Chukwemeka Odumegwu University Teaching Hospital, Awka. Chief Justice of Nigeria Onogan calls for promotion of alternative dispute resolution measures. And on the foreign scene tonight, flood kills 18 persons in Jordan. And now details of the news. Anambra government reassures on welfare security of corps members. Anambra state government has reassured that it will continue to provide adequate welfare and security for corps members posted to the state. Governor William Obiano stated this during the swearing-in ceremony of the 2018 Batch C Stream 1 of the National Youth Service Corps members at the NYSC Orientation Camp, Omonia, Oyiloku Government Area. Correspondent Emmanuel Chibata was at the swearing-in ceremony, and the report is taken from our studios.
Obiano, who was represented by the Deputy Governor Dr. Nkemo Okeke, charged them to serve and contribute their quota not only in the realization of NYSC scheme's objectives, but in complementing and accelerating the development of the state and the nation at large. Governor Obiano also commended the state coordinator, management and staff of NYSC in the state for seamlessly aligning with the aspirations of the government and for caring for the corps members. He assured that the permanent orientation camp at Umuaulumbau will be completed soon.
I will say that you have come at the right time when your energies, experience and knowledge are very much needed to render selfless service to our beloved state and country, Nigeria. Dear compatriots, you have arrived in Anambra at a time when we are strategically transiting from massive infrastructural development to human capital development. You have therefore come to serve and contribute your quota, not only in the realization of the NYSC scheme's objectives, but in complementing and accelerating the development of our dear state in particular and the nation at large.
In his address, the chairman, NYSC Governing Board and Commissioner for Youth Empowerment and Creative Economy, Mr. Bonaventure Nemali, who explained that NYSC was established more than 4 decades ago to harness the collective energies and creative abilities of graduate youths for national unity and development, commended Governor William Obiano for the sustained support and cooperation corps members have been enjoying, which he noted has enhanced smooth operation of the scheme in the state. The commissioner reminded the corps members that their records of participation and performance in camp activities are very much considered for state honors and other awards.
Now that opportunity is here, the question is what next? The next step is you need to be careful and be resilient, and also put in high level of commitment to learning throughout these 21 days you're going to stay in this camp.
In his speech, the NYSC State Coordinator, Mr. Kehinde Aremu, stated that NYSC in Anambra is committed to supporting the human capital development aspiration of the administration of Governor Obiano. He assured that large percentage of corps members will be posted to rural and hard-to-reach areas to complement state government's effort in sustaining educational and health facilities established for rural dwellers by bridging manpower gaps in the state.
Your Excellency, I'm delighted to report that this batch of corps members have shown exemplary resilience since they were admitted into the camp. And as we say, on a camp like this, they are good to go.
Meanwhile, over 2,000 corps members posted to Anambra State have been sworn in to commence their orientation and camping exercises. The swearing-in ceremony, which marks the commencement of the national service for the 2018 Batch C Stream 1 corps members deployed to Anambra State, took place at the Corps Permanent Orientation Camp, Omonia, Oyiloku Government Area. Correspondent Blessing Uchendu tells us more.
According to the corps posting manifest for Anambra State, Out of the 2,032 corps members posted to the state, 1,046 are females, while 986 are males. The Commissioner for Youth Entrepreneurship and Creative Economy and Chairman NYSC Governing Board, Mr. Bonaventure Enemali, in his speech, restates the scheme's indispensability to social mobilization, noting that it is a preparatory ground for youths in fostering national unity, peace, and integration. He called on them to endeavor to obey all the camp rules and regulations and to also take part in all mandatory camp activities, and lauded the state government for always providing all necessary support and encouragement to the scheme.
This event that is happening today happened in your life immediately you graduated from school. Now that opportunity is here, the question is what next? The next step is you need to be careful and the resilience.
Earlier, the state coordinator of National Youth Service Corps, Anambra State, Mr. Kehinde Aremu, who stressed the focus on skill acquisition as the paramount model of the camping exercise, explained that skill acquisition, sensitization, and training have been intensified to enhance corps members' mastery of their chosen skills, starting from the orientation camp, and expressed optimism that at the end of the exercise, the youth would acquire the elementary knowledge of entrepreneurship.
We appreciate His Excellency for his support through approval and release of funds to meet some of the needs of the scheme in Anambra State.
Some corps members that took part in the swearing-in exercise, including Ms. Nafisat Olaitan, Ms. Alero Faith, and Mr. Ikibe Michael, pledged to be diligent and committed throughout their stay in the state. Inspection of the water guard, tug-of-war competition, administration of oath of allegiance by the State Chief Judge, Justice Peter Umadi, who was represented by Justice Mbonwenyi, added color to the event. From Umunya, Oyi Council area, Blessing Uchendo, reporting for ABS News.
And away from the NYSC story, a team of medical experts from India under the auspices of Rotary International District 3170 has donated medical equipment worth 7.2 million naira to the Chukwemeka Odumegwu University Teaching Hospital, Amakwaka. The donation is part of the team's current medical mission in the state, where an average of 300 patients are also receiving free diagnostic, treatment and surgical services daily. Correspondent Daniel Ezigwe was there and now completes the story.
The equipment donated to the hospital are scanning machine, suction machines, light cure machine, and ultrasonic scaler. Others are ophthalmology operations microscope, orthopedic drill, LCD projectors, endomotor, and micromotor. Receiving the equipment, the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joe Akabike, applauded the gesture and said it was in line with the doggedness of the present administration in promoting quality healthcare system in Anambra State.
The effort of the current team leader has been very, very hardworking. All the equipment we have here are put into judicious use. And apart from that, we also make sure that they are not stolen, because definitely we are going to engrave the hospital's name in it. And then definitely this is a teaching hospital, and we have 1,001 people that are going to benefit from it.
Responding, the Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Dr. Basil Wankwo, said the equipment will enhance quality and effective medical services in the hospital and pledged that they will be put to adequate use.
These are donations by Rotarians from India to the teaching hospital. And then, of course, you see all these people need to fight. So when the right man is the government, and down the line they have chosen somebody who they are qualified and they felt they needed to go.
The leader of the donor group, who is also the leader, Rotary Vocational Training Team, Dr. Justin Fernandez, explained that the Rotary International has 6 global intervention areas, of which health is most paramount, and said the organization was driven by keen desire to establish equal health privileges across the globe.
We have got 6 focus areas. Out of the 6 focus areas of our project, we have chosen the health sector, whereby we are going on to medical missions into different countries, and we are giving our expertise to the people down there and we are training them up. Some of the people have the expertise but do not have the necessary equipment. So we are come over here with the equipment and with the necessary transfer of skills that we are going to do for the people in this food hospital so that the Nigerian patients could keep good health. And that's what our wish, hope and prayer is to the Lord.
From the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University Teaching Hospital, Amak Oka, Daniel Ezigwe reporting for ABS News.
The Anambra State Education Program Investment Project and CEPIP, in collaboration with a Makurdi-based consulting firm, has commenced a 5-day training for special needs teachers in the state on innovative and modern teaching techniques. The ongoing training program in Awka attracted the Commissioner for Basic Education, Professor Keita Menoa, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mr. Linus Nwabeze, and the Chairman Post-Primary School Service Commission, PPSSC, Lady Joy Olase. Correspondent Emmanuel Chibata has the rest of the story.
The program was aimed at assisting teachers and others working with pupils and students with special needs to effectively develop, implement, monitor, and evaluate high-quality education programs on children with disabilities. Declaring the training open, Professor Menoha reiterated the importance of increasing the capacity and effectively impart special needs students, and noted that individuals with disabilities are with equal value and dignity, therefore should not be discriminated against in the society. The Commissioner also called on teachers of students with disabilities not to relent in taking care of pupils and students with special needs, but professionally train them to ensure that their educational goals are realized.
It is good to be charitable. It is good to have a good heart. It is very good when you can relate well with people. It is very good. Nobody does somebody.
In his presentation, the lead trainer, Mr. Matthew Adoga, noted that the special education sector in Anambra is one of the most organized across the country and commended the state government for giving attention to the educational sector.
The number of out-of-school children in all the states in Nigeria, and Anambra State is among the top 4 with the lowest number of out-of-school children. Anambra State, according to the statistics, has about 92,000.
Another facilitator of the program, Mr. Steve Nwafo, who enlightened the participants on methodological way of training autistic children, decried that such children have been marginalized due to the problem of disability that is not of their own making. Mr. Nwafo, who explained that children with autism can learn, make progress, and grow up to function productively with an appropriate education, support, and services, urged teachers to use the new techniques they learned to improve the learning of the children under them.
For students or people with autism, we're going to look at the teaching approaches, the teaching strategies we are going to use to help these children to learn.
One of the participants, Reverend Sister Nazarene Ezenabo, expressed optimism that the training has given her the opportunity to improve on her past mistakes. In Awka, Emmanuel Shibata, ABS News.
The Igbo have been urged to work towards protecting their rich cultural heritage from going into extinction. The Commissioner for Diaspora Affairs, Culture and Tourism, Mrs. Sally Mbanefo, made the call during the 6th Anambra Book and Creativity Festival in Awka. Ogochukwu Keke has details.
Mrs. Mbanefo noted that Igbo culture is one of the best in arts and crafts in Nigeria, and explained that the essence of the exhibition was to encourage young people to develop and promote their creative talents to expand employment opportunities for the teeming youth. The Commissioner said that Igbo culture can be promoted through awareness and documentation, charging Igbo to always take pride in their culture.
Without a history, we will not know where it's going. And so it's important for us, because in Anambra, we have the largest number of diaspora out there, people are out there, so we need to be proud of our culture, so that those out can come back home and embrace our culture. Igbo is make sure your children speak their language. Don't say because you have money and you send your children abroad that the children should not. Igbo is a very important part of our culture, just like our art, our music, our food, our dance.
The acting director of Anambra Book and Art Creativity Festival, Mr. Chu Ikwemesi, said the festival, which is a private initiative, is the 6th in its series, aimed at showcasing Igbo artifacts and bringing young artists, both at home and in the diaspora, together to encourage them. Mr. Ikwemesi noted that the initiative is not profit-driven, but selfless effort towards harnessing the heritage of Igbo, and appealed to government to take more proactive measures to diversify the economy.
Because we felt there was a gap, there was a need to have this done. over the years, some of us at UN, UNICEF, and some other places have been able to organize this to emphasize the need for the possible realization of society.
A lecturer in the Department of Fine and Applied Arts, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Mr. Chidebele Onwekwe, said the essence of the festival was to bring creativity to the front burner and urged young people to be consistent in developing their talents from the cradle. A visual thinker, Mr. Tony Akudinobi, in his remarks, maintained that for one to be a great writer, he must creatively merge content and context to reach certain goal to leave footprint in the annals of history.
If you look in the past, Anambra is rich, whether we like it or not, with so many people that got to where they are through books. Chinua Achebe, Christopher Kimbo, so many of them, Vincent Ike, and so many of them. These are people who have built Professor Keke. They are late, they've gone, but their works cannot die. So that's the book. Creativity, that is the essence of being.
In Awka, Ogochukwu Okeke reports of ABS News.
And moving on to our national stories, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN Walter Onegan, has called for the use of alternative dispute resolution, especially for settling of commercial and family disputes. Justice Onegan made the call while addressing an audience at the 2018 annual conference of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators in Abuja, the nation's capital. He lamented that the nation's courts were overworked and the use of arbitrators would help speed up the justice delivery process. The CJN therefore asked arbitrators to step up their game. He also reaffirmed the commitment of the judiciary to protecting the interest of investors and all persons who approach the courts for adjudication. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, and the President of Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, James Bridgman, also shared their thoughts on the role of arbitration. Lawyers and arbitrators across the country converged in Abuja for this year's conference, which has the theme Arbitration and ADR in Africa, Challenges, Gains and Lessons for the Future. A two-day conference is aimed at examining the challenges of arbitration and alternative dispute resolution in Africa and pick out lessons for the future. And on business news, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, and the Association of Nigerian License Clearing Agents are collaborating on measures aimed at combating substandard products at the point of entry into the country. Speaking during a meeting of ANLCA and SON in Lagos, the Director General, SON, Osita Abaloma, declared that the organization was ready to partner the clearing agents to check the menace at the point of entry. He explained that ANLCA was one of its strongest allies to reduce the preponderance of fake and substandard goods in the country to the barest minimum. Speaking further, Aboloma stated that the agency was working relentlessly to fully automate its process to reduce the level of human interface, stressing that this would help to eradicate the use of touts to get access to its services, while also ensuring seamless port operations for stakeholders in the maritime industry. Also speaking at the event, the Vice President, ANLCA, Dr. Kayode Farinto, commended SON for its relentless efforts aimed at tackling substandard goods, while also pledging to support the agency in its quest to rid Nigeria of such goods. And now on the entertainment scene, Prince Harry and wife Meghan donned matching red and cream unisex skirts on Friday as they wrapped up a 4-day Pacific Island trip in Tonga with a celebration of local crafts and culture. The emphasis has been on Meghan's fashion choices during her first international tour since marrying into the British royals last May, but Harry caught a dash with a tasseled skirt worn over the outside of his suit. Pregnant Meghan wore an identical garment high on the waist, covering her baby bump, as the pair toured the craft market in the island kingdom's capital, Nuku'alofa. The traditional skirts are a status symbol worn during formal occasions by both men and women in Tonga. The warm welcome received by the royal couple during their travels in Tonga and Fiji this week continued with local Lunishi Futufili struggling to express her feelings at being in Meghan's presence. Crowds turned out in their thousands in Fiji and Tonga, eclipsing the numbers seen on the first week of the couple's Oceania tour in Australia. American-born Meghan wore a green and white striped cotton dress by Australian designer Martin Grant to tour the markets and meet Prime Minister Akilisi Pohiva. She changed to a casual blue Veronica Bird shirt dress for a visit to an environmental project at Nuku'alofa's Topoi College. At a banquet hosted by Tonga's King Tupou VI and Queen Nana Sipao on Thursday night, Harry said the island nation was a magical setting. Coming to Tonga, I feel very much as though I am coming to visit an extended family, he said, reading a message from his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. It gives me great pleasure that my grandson and his wife are visiting the Kingdom of Tonga, the Queen's message said. Our two families have enjoyed a deep and warm friendship over many years, and I hope that our close relationship continues with the next generation. After less than 24 hours in Tonga, they returned to Australia later Friday for the final days of the Invictus Games, the Olympic-style sporting event for wounded soldiers that Harry helped found. They will then end their marathon 16-day tour in New Zealand. On the foreign scene, at least 18 people, mostly children, were killed when torrential rain swept away a bus carrying students and teachers during touring near the Dead Sea, according to sources in the country's Civil Defense Directorate. Most of the dead are reported to be school children under the age of 14. Officials said the death toll was expected to rise. According to media reports, 37 students along with 7 adults had been touring near the Dead Sea when heavy rains unleashed flash floods in the area. Ghazi Al-Zaben, Jordan's health minister, had earlier said that 11 people were also injured, adding that 21 others on the school outing were rescued. A number of families picnicking in the popular destination were also among the dead and injured, rescuers said, without giving a breakdown of numbers. Media reports said Jordanian Prime Minister Omar Razaz was on the scene to oversee the rescue mission. King Abdullah also cancelled a trip to Bahrain to follow the rescue operations. It was reported that Jordanian authorities requested Israeli assistance in the search and rescue efforts. Israel sent search and rescue helicopters to help, an Israeli military statement said. It said the Israeli team was operating on the Jordanian side of the Dead Sea, where a bus carrying the students and teachers were swept into a valley by rain-struck floodwaters. Now for sports news, the Super Eagles moved up 4 spots from 48 to 44 in the October rankings released by FIFA. Nigeria moved up 4 places after defeating Libya over 2 legs in Uyo and Fax in their Cameroon 2019 African Cup of Nations qualifying doubleheader on October 13 and 16. They have 1,434 points against the 1,415 points they had in September rankings. They improved their position from 4th to 3rd best team in Africa. Senegal dropped from the #1 position in Africa after they remained 25th in the world, same as they were in September. Tunisia are the new African #1 team with 1,515 points. They moved to 22nd in the world from the 23rd position they occupied last month. Nigeria's next opponents in the 2019 African Cup of Nations qualifier, South Africa, remained in the 73rd position in the world, while Libya dropped 6 places from the 99th they occupied last month to 105th in the rankings. Seychelles, courtesy of their goalless draw with South Africa in the qualifiers, moved up a spot from 189 to 188. CHAN 2018 host and champions Morocco, who were 4th to 5th in the September rankings and now 4th to 7th in the world after dropping 2 places. They're now 5th on the continent. DR Congo 4th to 6th, who dropped 6 places from their 40th position last month, are 4th in Africa. Russia 2018 World Cup champions, France, were sent off the top of the rankings by Belgium. The two countries had jointly occupied the top position in September. Belgium have 1,733 points, while the world champions have 1,732 points to sit second. Brazil, Croatia, England, Uruguay, Portugal, Switzerland, Spain, and Denmark complete the top 10 in the world. Colombia, Argentina, Chile, Germany, and the Netherlands are in the top 15 in the world. Now, the remains of the former managing director of ANSIPA, Chief Joe Billy Ekwunife, has been laid to rest at his country home, Eziaba village, Aba, in Jakoko local government area. Meanwhile, Governor Willie Obiano yesterday joined other old boys of Christ the King College, Onitsha, to receive the remains of Chief Ekwunife at the college ground at Onitsha. Government House correspondent Ken Nechukwu, who was there, now reports.
The late Joe Billy, who died 2 months ago at the age of 68, was the pioneer MD of ANSIPA, the state agency charged with coordinating investment activities in the state. The body of the late Joe Billy, who was also an old boy of the college, was laid in state as the old boys and other top officials of the state government filed past to pay their last respect. Speaking at a vigil mass organized in his honor, Governor Obiano described the deceased as a humane gentleman who showed love to all manner of persons. He recalled his contribution towards the success of his administration and prayed God to grant his soul eternal rest.
We would not like us to be weeping for him. He's done his bit, he's done very well, and he's paid his dues, and he's over there praying for us. You know, may his soul and the soul of the faithful departed through the mercy of our Lord rest in perfect peace.
In a homily, the manager and principal of the college, Reverend Father Charles Okummo, called on Christians to live every day as if it is their last, and to de-emphasize worldly things, but to prepare for their deaths by making their ways right with God.
He was always there to find ways and means of moving the school forward. There is one interesting lesson I want us to learn from his life. He integrated his spiritual life with his social life. Many of us have a very wrong impression of Christianity. They think that Christianity is what you do in the church, what you do in the innermost recess of your being, what you do behind locked doors. The social aspect of your life is a critical component of Christianity.
From Onitsha, I am Ken Nechukwu, reporting for ABS News.
And that's it on the news tonight. But remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging onto our website, www.absradiotv.com. Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. And just before we go tonight, a quick reminder of our top stories. State government has reassured on welfare and security of corps members. Governor Obiano gave the assurance at the swearing ceremony of 28 Batch C corps members at Umunya. Indian medical team has donated medical equipment worth over 7 million naira to Chukwemeka Odumegwu University Teaching Hospital, Awka. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Onegan, has called for promotion of alternative dispute resolution measures. And on the foreign scene, we're brought to you that flood has killed 18 persons in Jordan. And that's the size of our package tonight. Many thanks for watching. I'm Ebere Ugonna.